Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Love Amanda. My next guest is our studio director, Bill Grant of Love Amanda podcast. And I thought it would be a perfect moment to bring him on as we had our 10th episode and we're reaching our season finale just to talk about all our favorite moments from the season. Welcome, Bill.
Thank you. It's good to be on this side of the camera for once. I've never been on this part of the couch, so it's exciting.
This is so cool.
Yeah. Well, so I think it's definitely an accomplishment to get to 10 episodes. How does that feel? Like you look back and you go, we did it, 10 episodes. I talked for 10 hours. How is that?
It is surreal. And honestly, I didn't realize it till we got here today. But it is totally surreal. I remember wanting to start this process with you, and I was just, talking shop, thinking about what we could do. And at first I thought maybe it would be a monthly series. And then somehow quickly it turned into a weekly series every Friday. So it's just amazing that I even got a guest on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, it's the biggest hurdle, right? Is just getting started for most people. So tell me about like the motivation. What made you want to do this? Have you always been an interviewer? You seem real natural from the beginning. So like, have you always wanted to do this?
Yeah, so when I went to college, I went to school for journalism and media studies, but I was thrown into the fashion district right out of college, and I thought I was going to be a celebrity stylist. So that was my passion. I thought I was going to style all the stars. And then when I was thrown into the reality show, I quickly realized I loved interviewing people and being on TV. But being on a reality show, obviously a network owns you in some way. So it's been such a great experience to have my own show. No one can tell me anything. I mean, you tell me a few things.
I give you suggestions. You do what you want anyway, right? So,
Yeah, but just to have my own show, think of my own ideas. It's really use this creative side that I never thought I really had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and what I think is so interesting is from the very first guest, from Laura, really. I mean, you just hit the ground running, and I couldn't believe the response from that very first episode. And I think a lot of it is the smart choosing of guests. So talk about choosing your guests and why you chose your guests in the way you did, and tell me kind of what the factor in choosing the guest is in the success of it.
Yeah, so at first I wanted to have guests that were in person, so people that live in South Carolina or can travel close to it, either North Carolina, wherever it may be. So I used ChatGPT to find every celebrity in South Carolina and North Carolina.
Wow.
And then I went through that list, and I wanted to see what they were up to. Not everyone, some people are controversial. So I wanted to be very careful with who I was choosing. Obviously, I wanted people that have something to do with love and dating. So I went to the love shows. I went to Love is Blind because they had a Charlotte season. So that's where I started. And it's interesting because when I was on your podcast, I mentioned that I would love to do something like this. And I mentioned that I'd love to have Love is Blind guests on. So I think I purposely went for that first to try and, prove myself. And it was such a blessing that Laura answered me and actually wanted to come on because I didn't have anything to show for it. So
yeah, I mean, what a leap she took. I mean, she rolled in here like this was Good Morning America and just blew it out. I mean, she was amazing.
I know.
And I remember sitting over there behind the camera going, okay, this is like this has been going on for years.
Wow.
Like, and so I think that's such a cool thing. And obviously I went home and watched Love is Blind after I met Laura and Brittany and, those people from Love is Blind. So let's go back to the guest thing. You're saying, so I didn't know that you didn't have any connection with these guys. I thought you had some connection somewhere.
Right.
So you
No.
literally like just DM'd them out of the blue and said, come on my podcast.
Yeah, so I went to their profile on social media, and then I saw if they would have an email for their business manager, and then I would send them an email from Instagram, and then I would also message them as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and I put together a media kit, which showed what I had done in the past. So years ago, I was a TV host in New York, and a radio host. So I was just showing stats of what I did in the past to say, hey, I've done this before. You're in good hands, I promise. But I
Well-
don't have anything.
And to your credit, Laura walked in and you were like, this is our first episode. She's like, oh, first episode? Like first?
Yeah.
And you were like, yep. And she barreled into it like it was nothing to it, you know? And I think having these guests like this, where they're used to be on TV, they're used to being interviewed, you know, I mean, I think it made it sort of smoother on you a little bit because they were used to talking in the way that they were. Yeah. But then also they have a giant audience. So I will tell you the other thing that surprised me as someone who produces podcasts all the time. From the first one, you did intentional reels to announce the podcast. So it was like you did the telephone thing with Laura, right? And it was awesome. It's not in my wheelhouse, right? It's not the kind, Zach will tell you, it's not the kind of thing I do well. But I loved watching your sort of process and thinking through, hey, I've got to have a reel that's going to get attention to lead people towards the clips, you know, which I think, you know, was really smart, really interesting to see that.
Thank you. Yeah, there's so much on social media. People are recreating trends that they see. And I just kept trying to think of something fresh and something creative.
Yeah.
And what would be different. So, yeah, it didn't have anything to do with them, but it was something that would be fun and exciting to announce them coming on as my new guest. So that's what I wanted to do with every guest. Just think of some social media content that I can create. And, you know, I did hire a team here to help. So there's a lot of people involved in that too, to make it as good as possible.
Well, so I think it's interesting to talk about, you know, that approach as far as like, you know, thinking about everything from a top down perspective, right? You know, you brought the flowers in, you know, yeah. You're working on coordinating your outfit with the theme, you know, all of that stuff is so critical and so few people think through that part of it before they get started. You know, they don't really plan for success in that way, you know? And
Yeah.
I think that's very cool, that you did that. So, talk to me about, is there anything surprising throughout the season? Any of the guests that were said or did anything that you were like, oh, I didn't expect, you know, this, or, you know, talk about some of that. You know, what were some moments that you can think of from the season?
I was definitely surprised how raw and vulnerable my guests were going to be. I was, you know, taken back by that because, you know, when the lights and the cameras are on, it could be a little intimidating to get raw and real in that way. So definitely when Beth opened up in the way that she did, that episode has actually been one of the biggest downloads. So on toxic relationships. So that tells me people are dealing with that as well. And so she really opened up about that in ways that people didn't even know from after she was on TV. So that was just such a blessing. I didn't realize Laura had a boyfriend already. I didn't realize that she was calling him Cat Daddy. I think I even asked a question. I felt so foolish after I said, does he like cats or something? She's like, no, I'll tell you later. So I definitely missed that whole inside joke. So that was really cool. I was just happy that she even announced that. Clay, he announced that he had a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. He was super vulnerable with me. I mean, it was really
Clay
interesting.
was a big surprise to me.
Yeah.
After having seen Love is Blind season 6. I expected him to be cocky, and I expected him to be kind of strut a little bit. Mm-hmm. And he was real humble and down to earth, and, you know, he was a real cool guy, you know, just like real sort of friendly. And I did not expect that. I mean, I guess after you watch the show, you get this idea that he's some kind of player whatever. And he just didn't come across that way at all.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's a great point. As he was speaking, it was making sense to me. And, you know, we all were rooting for AD in that moment, you know, on Love is Blind. We didn't want to see her get left at the altar.
Yeah.
But as he was talking about it, it almost made sense. And he wasn't trying to be a bad guy. And
totally made sense. It totally
Yeah.
made sense. The idea that the premise was the problem, right?
Right.
Like that we can really find someone that we can marry in 5 weeks. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, that was really fascinating. And honestly, going through this season since December, I've watched a lot more reality shows since.
You're welcome.
You know, it's my wife keeps going, what are you watching? She go, I was watching Selling Sunset or whatever it was, you know, and she's like, what is this? And I go, well, it's a reality show. She's like, I hate these people. I was like, yeah, I know. I don't really like them either. I don't know why I keep watching it, but I'm kind of stuck now. You know, I've invested three seasons, and so I've got to keep going. You know, I got to see how it ends. I don't know. You know,
You have to see how it ends.
Yeah.
That's it. So what's been your favorite?
oh man. Well, I love With Love Megan. That's just a special reality show for me. I think it's so ridiculous and amazing. I have loved, so part of our work and what we do at As Told By is we make almost kind of documentary style videos. And so I love watching the way reality shows, but also documentaries will weave interviews together, you know, with real life. And so it's always been in my wheelhouse to love this type of show. I will say I've watched reality shows over the years. I love Love on the Spectrum. I watched all the seasons of Love on the Spectrum. I watched Love on the Spectrum Australia. I get to meet Tanner last week. I don't know if you...
At Camp Cole?
Yep, at Camp Cole. He was amazing, exactly as I had suspected. And the girl that he went on the date with, that he was going, do you like animals? You know, do you like this animal? Do you like that animal? He was going through that. Well, she was at the fashion show too. And so I got to sit there with my camera on them while he talked to her like that. He was like, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do
That's
this. It was
really
so
cool.
amazing. So I love Love on the Spectrum is a great one. But also during, I guess a little after COVID, me and my daughter would watch the Bear Grylls Survivor series, whatever it was. You take the celebrities out into the wilderness.
Yeah, I
and,
love that one.
those are so great. But yeah, I love real life. I love actually watching like stories in real life. What I've gotten into recently is the trashy shows, which I
Sorry.
never liked before I met you, but like, Owning Manhattan and Selling Sunset. And I watched one about Palm Beach. I can't remember what it was
Beth
called.
told you about that.
Beth, that's right. That's who said
Beth
yes.
loves that one.
Oh my God, it was so ridiculous. And all of these women are talking about the Queen of Palm Beach. She's the Queen of Palm Beach, and I just go, I hate myself for watching this, but I can't stop, you know. And so,
That was so addicting.
what about you? What's your favorite? I haven't ever asked you that question.
It's hard to pick. I love The Housewives.
Okay.
Big Bravo Housewives fan.
I always stayed away from the Housewives because of the trashiness, and I got to go back to it now. I've got to check it out again. You know?
Now when you go back, you'll probably have a different
I'll be like, oh my God, this is good. Yeah.
Love is Blind.
Yeah.
Love Island.
Yeah.
For sure. I love Love Island. But yeah, I started to get into a series about dinosaurs now on Netflix, so that's a little different.
Okay, I was asking somebody earlier if they had seen the dinosaurs thing, so I've been watching it too.
You have?
And I love the stories of these dinosaurs. I don't know why. I don't know how they know these things. I don't know how they know what this thing is doing 200 million years ago. Like, that they knew that one of these little dinosaurs is jumping to try to get pine branches and can't reach it.
Right.
And I'm going, how do you know that? How do you know how tall the trees were? I'm so fascinated by
Yeah.
I feel so dumb because I feel like I'm fascinated by science, you know, like science is crazy.
Science
you
is
know,
cool.
how do they know? But you know, it's very, the dinosaur one, it's so well done, but then, you know, Morgan Freeman's voiceover and all that stuff, you know. So,
So
but I feel like as
relaxing.
a almost middle-aged guy, I'll say middle-aged guy, I'm kind of required to watch all these because, you know, it's geared right at me, you
It's
know.
meant for you.
Yeah. Any of the history or war stuff I have to watch, you know, because it's my track in life,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So
I like history too.
Yeah.
I think as I get older, I appreciate that more.
yeah, and you wish you had paid attention when you had nothing else to do.
I know.
And they gave you a free class on it, and you're like, I don't want to learn this right now
No, I'm so not
because I'm
interested.
16 and I know everything, and I don't need to learn history, you know. So
Yeah.
But now when you go through it, you're like, when I go to Tupelo Honey at Bull Street, I go, do you know what this building used to be? And everybody's like, I don't care, old guy. Don't tell any stories anymore, you know. So, I have also been very interested in your approach to getting sponsors for your show, and I have so many people who host here who, you know, they're worried that they can't get sponsors because they don't have millions of followers, they don't have millions of views, they
Yeah.
can't prove ROI. But I would love, if you don't mind, to talk a little bit about that approach when you started the show. You know, just to say, before the first episode, you tried to get sponsors. Talk about that.
Yeah. So wanted to look for sponsors to at least cover the studio cost. So I thought that would be helpful since I was doing it weekly. So I had the idea of getting fresh flowers every week just so that I could have a nice centerpiece. And also just to, you know, have something nice for my guests. I wanted to feel homey, girly, romantic. And so that's where I went with the flowers. And then I thought, okay, well, I can get that sponsored. So,
Yeah.
you know, they bring in the flowers and we put the banner ad on the episode and you see it throughout the episode. So it just made sense to do the flowers.
Yeah.
So I do have a media background, so it did come easier to me probably.
Well, I don't think cold calling comes easy to anybody.
I love
right?
cold calling.
Do you really?
Yeah, I
Oh
love
my
it.
God.
I love it.
We should talk about that because, like, that's a superpower.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah, you're like somebody who could be a bail bondsman or a you know, like
Oh, I'd be
the
so-
thing that people don't want to do. You
Right.
know, you're just like, yeah, I'll cold call people. you
I'm
know?
just consistent.
Yeah.
I'm intentional.
Yeah.
And I'm really good at lists.
Right.
So I just love checking it off. And
Yeah.
I think I've been told no so much. And also being in the TV world, you get told no a lot. And you
Right.
have to have a thick skin for things. And so someone yelling at me on the phone, I just laugh. I'm like, okay.
Like, whatever.
It doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
They don't know me. So once you get past that, cold calling comes easier.
Yeah. See, I hear no, and I hang my head and I go, I'm sorry. I'm
I'm
sorry I asked you. So I have a hard time with cold calling because I can't get past the first no. Somebody says no, and I'm like, no, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
so-
see that. When I get a no, it makes me want it even more
Right.
to get the yes. So
Yeah, when I did one of the things I get to do with my job is I get to learn about a lot of stuff
you
that
do.
people don't get to learn about because we do videos for people. But I did a video for a pest control company that does door-to-door sales, and so they were doing a training for a door-to-door sales, and they had one of the biggest door-to-door sales guys in the entire country come to Lexington and teach their door-to-door salesmen about that.
Oh.
And so he said, every no makes you $15 because as soon as you get the no, you move on to the next one, right?
Right.
You got to go through so many of them to get a yes, right? So every one you go through, you know, you just have to figure out what is your, you know, what's the ROI on your no, right? So the minute you get a no, you move on to the next one, right?
Yeah.
You got to go through so many no's before you get a yes. And so every no leads you to the next yes. And, you know, they have everything down to like the timing, how long they spend on, you know, waiting for the door to open. You know, it's like 7 seconds is too long, 3 seconds is too short. So it's 6 seconds. And then they all had segues. So I walked into this house where they were doing the training. There were like 15 segues lined up in the front. And this is how these guys get from house to house and do the sales.
Oh, it's genius.
Because walking's too slow, right? But that's what sales is all about, right? It's about that getting that number,
Yeah,
you know, getting
and
to that
speed.
number of people that you talk to. So
Yeah.
and so that's been an interesting story that I've told a lot of people. Like, you know, if you think you can't get sponsorships, call Amanda because she got one, right?
Wow,
and
thank you.
And I think it's so critical for people, when they're thinking about this. You can think about it as an expense, but then you can also think about it like there are people who want access to my audience, right? Even if I don't have an audience yet, and they'll take a chance on it. So I think that's very cool.
And also, let's say when Cyrus Frakes came on of Gowns and Crowns, so obviously he sponsored when he was on the episode too. So obviously, if the person you're interviewing has a business right away, that's a sponsorship.
That was a great episode, Cyrus.
I know. That's one of my favorites too.
I saw he went to the ballet gala.
I saw that
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
had the sparkly blue tuxedo.
Did you see the necklace?
And the necklace and all that. I'm going.
I know.
I messaged him. I was like, the next time you come on my podcast, you need to wear that.
You did.
I did, because he came in a very sensible suit with a green shirt. I'm like, no, don't code switch on my podcast. Let's go. Let's do it.
Oh, that's so sweet that you said that.
Yeah, he's I observe him and I go, man, the confidence in yourself it takes to dress like that and to be that, that out there and loud and all that stuff. That's so cool.
And he was a surprise too. Okay, he is a renowned pageant coach. We all know about pageant coaches.
Yeah.
They can be intimidating, can pick you apart, right? I thought he was going to come in and, I don't know, be sassy with it. He wasn't at all.
Down to earth,
Nicest guy. Was so happy with what I was wearing. I said, I dress totally for you.
Yeah.
And he had nothing bad to say.
I love that he brought the sash. He
brought the sash.
It's so good.
Brought the crown.
Yeah.
Was just so pleasantly surprised with him. Love him.
I have met so many people like that I've seen, especially through the podcast, but then through other things where you see them, and you get an idea that they're one way because of the way you see them, and then they get in a situation like this where it's just a conversation. It's very different. Like Clay was that way too, like the way he was on the show wasn't how he was on the couch,
Right. And how about Dondi?
Oh my God.
Dondi's will be out by the time we post this.
That was the next question I was going to ask you. So what was that like? So Dondi obviously is a legend in broadcasting. What was that like interviewing a legend in broadcasting?
I almost felt like we should switch seats. I shouldn't be asking the questions. But, and I was telling everyone about this, how, it's almost like when you meet your idol and they're so nice, it's so refreshing.
Yeah.
And I obviously knew that because I've worked with her.
Sure.
But just when they're so humble and kind, it makes them even more of a star in your eyes. And she was it was incredible to work with her in that way, because that's what I consider it. We were doing, a project together, and to be in her presence and interview her, it was such a great experience. And then the compliment she had afterwards about the whole show and the process and all of that, it just meant so much to me coming from her.
It was a good back and forth too. Y'all bantered well and all that kind of stuff, which is tough sometimes, depending on how well you know each other.
Right.
And so she's awesome. And she was on our podcast too. I wasn't intimidated by her broadcast experience because I'm not a broadcaster. So like, what do I know about interviewing people? I'm just doing it anyway. So I don't have any experience or knowledge, so I just do it anyway, right?
And just with WIS, I wanted to do right by her.
Yeah, no, of course. Well, Intisar too. I mean,
Intisar.
Yeah.
I loved that one. Was shocked by so many things with that, with the jail mail.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
That was amazing. Yeah.
How in the world do you react to that, right? When you get mail from prisoners,
Right. And also the thing with Intisar, which I'm just finding interesting, is that you can have people with, let's say, 200,000 or more followers, huge on social media. Intisar isn't at that level yet.
Right.
But let me tell you, she had the most engagement out of anyone.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've interviewed.
Local, so that helps.
Local,
right?
The amount of comments, shares, out of control. She has such an amazing fan base here.
Yeah. Well, so we were able to do I guess 2 episodes remotely. So you got 2 remote
right.
guests. Talk about your
3.
3 remote guests.
Matchmaker.
Oh, that's right.
The
Yeah,
Bra,
Mystique.
and then Mystique.
Yeah, I forgot about Mystique.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for that one.
Right.
So talk about getting remote guests and like how hard was that to say, probably easier to say, hop on this call with me for an hour rather than drive down here from Charlotte.
So you would think the virtual calls would be easier. To me, they're harder because, well, there are a few things. So I love the connection this way. I love to be a little closer in person. It's also because I have to look at them in the camera, which maybe it's saying my age. It's just maybe I need glasses, but
It's like the fuzzy person over there.
but it's, I could see them, but not
like
100%.
facial expressions and all that stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
Sure.
And then also when I ask a question, I notice there's a little reverb. So sometimes it takes them a minute to react, or sometimes you'll see me not react right away. And that's because I'm not hearing it yet.
Right.
And it just doesn't come off that great.
But it's good to have
but
remote.
I love them.
It's good to have remote access to people too.
It
though,
is.
To be able to do that.
Yeah, that has been incredible. And it just opens the door to so many more guests. So that, I'll try and take up a little more in the next season.
I mean, now that we got the earbuds figured out, you don't have to wear
so I had a thing
the
with
cans
the
over your
headphones.
hair. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Bill put these headphones on me, and I had a really cute hairstyle with bobby pins
Totally.
that were meant to be on the side of my head, and he just plops these big headphones over them
And
like
honestly,
nothing.
I've never had a cute hairstyle, so I don't know what that's like to mess it up, So I didn't even think about it. I handed you the headphones. I'm like, here, put on the headphones, and you're like, this, and I'm going, yeah, I don't know, what are you talking about? Like, you got to wear headphones. You can't hear them if you don't wear headphones. So you're like, don't you have any like little earbuds or something I can put in? It's like, well, I will now. I'll get them, I guess.
We got through that one. That was hard for me. To
I know.
Put those on.
I know.
I'm sorry.
And I kept going. You look like you're on a podcast. Just get over it. It's fine. But that's part of my learning journey, right? Is to be on a podcast where I have to be that very concerned about all of those things. So I looking forward towards what now? Where do we go from here? What's the international superstardom? Where are you headed from this?
So I definitely want to open it up to, guests that don't necessarily have to be celebrities. That would be great as well. I'm trying to think. I haven't thought too hard about what I want in this next season, but I knew it didn't have to be celebrities because that's something I said from the beginning. So, Bill, you could come on with your wife and talk to us about marriage and
Oh man, she'd have a lot to say.
all the things.
Yeah.
So, and that was something I was going to ask you also, if you got any good advice from any of these episodes.
Oh man. Well, the last thing I need is dating advice. Because my wife and I both agreed if we ever get divorced or one of us dies, we're never dating.
Well, the marriage advice.
Yeah.
From Dondi.
Oh man. I will tell you that Laura and Brittany were both so insightful on it. Because I think they had really thought about it a lot more than I've probably thought about it in the last 20 years. You know what I mean? I just don't think about it much because this is what I'm doing, right? I'm just doing the thing. And I can't think of anything specific with either one of them. I have really appreciated insights. I loved hearing Cyrus talk about the bad boyfriends.
Yeah.
The pageant boyfriends.
Yeah.
I thought that was really interesting.
Me too.
Because I would have been one of the bad boyfriends.
You
So
would?
I would have been. Yeah, it would have been bad.
So would you be the one that wanted to show up to every?
Yeah, probably. I would probably been the one that been like too supportive, and helping pick out the dress or whatever, like even though I don't know anything about it and it doesn't really mean anything to me, I'd probably have participated anyway,
Yeah, I see you
gotten
being
in the way.
supportive,
Yeah.
not in a bad way.
Well, whatever. But I mean, it's like it's I would have had my own thing going on, I guess, but I also would have been very into the pageant, and I would also have been like, because like one of my girlfriends in high school was a cheerleader, so I was like always at the games and all that kind of stuff, and it's, it's, I guess it's always been the perspective, but I loved hearing Cyrus talk about that because
Yeah.
I love the idea. I love the idea, in a professional setting like that, where he's like, these guys are really getting in the way of what we're trying to do here, you
Yeah.
know? And I think that was a really interesting insight, into what he was doing. But yeah, I think, I think with the library that you've created here over these last 10 episodes, I mean, you're talking about 10 hours worth of conversation with some of the most interesting people, 50 reels or so, plus all the individuals. I mean, I think there's a lot of cool information that came out of it. Do you have a bucket list guest? Is there a guest that you're like, if I could get this one, like Oprah or what?
Oh, yeah.
Like if I get this one, it would be done.
For sure. Number one is Ariana Madix.
Okay.
She was from Vanderpump Rules. Now she's the host of Love Island.
Okay.
She's the one I dressed up
as for Halloween. Okay.
And she did comment and share. So she loved the Halloween outfit. So
Nice.
I have, 10% more now of a chance.
A little brush
that
with
she
fame.
may
Yeah.
see a message. But yeah, that would be number one. And then also what I was thinking, just more on your question of what I would want to see more in the second season, is maybe I don't need guests every week. Maybe I could talk about different themes each episode and just talk into the camera and just be natural, not always being dressed up. Maybe have some casual conversations as well.
Yeah. We'll leave that up to the viewers. So y'all let Amanda know what you want to do.
For sure. Let me know if you want any one-on-one conversations where we can talk about different themes, or if you like the guests and seeing my different looks each episode.
Man, I had a good idea just now. What if we did a live episode?
That would be great.
So we go live and then we have people actually, ask questions or comment on the live.
So would people be able to call in?
Or would they be able to ask questions on the thing? I don't know.
On the live, you mean?
I have to ask somebody like Zach to tell me if that's possible.
Yeah. I think I saw someone do something on TikTok where people called in,
Yeah.
but maybe they called it that and it was just the messaging
They joined in on it.
on live. Yeah. But that's a great idea.
Yeah, that would be an interesting thing. And it would record it so that you'd have it, for replay.
Oh, I love that, because remember we said that I wanted to have people submit questions and then I answer them live. So,
well, I would tell you the other thing that I recognized in you doing this that a lot of people skip, which I, don't know whether that's because I never do it. But, I saw that you prepared so much for your guests. You had cue cards and you had like questions written out. You had the games all figured out, like all that kind of stuff. What was your favorite game that you did through the season?
that's a hard one.
She did a lot.
I know. I like the headlines with Intisar.
Yeah.
That was fun, reading relationship headlines and her guessing if they were true or false.
Oh my God. The one you did with Laura was what was the two choices? It's this new language.
Was it the ick?
Yeah, the ick or the
That was fun.
oh my God.
So I called it
What was it called?
I'm relying
It
on
was
you.
ick or cringe.
Oh,
It was cringe or ick.
the ick or just a tick.
Yeah.
Something.
But it was
yeah.
like those were great questions, and it was
Thank
just so
you.
funny to hear her response to that.
Yeah,
or how many
those were
times
great.
that she's actually gotten those things that you were talking about, which is really funny.
Yeah, that was Oakley. That was just funny.
Clay was good.
Yeah, if that's Oakley or not.
Yeah, I thought that was good, and he was real good natured, on all of that stuff. So, yeah, I think that was really fun, and it's been really cool, just seeing, because so many times when people host podcasts here, they don't have a clear idea of what they want to get out of it. They don't have a clear idea of what sort of the arc looks like or any of that stuff, and so it's been interesting watching you sort of build it up the way that you have, and just get the engagement, get the views and all the stuff that you've gotten. So it's been really cool.
Thank you. I love to be prepared, consistent. I'm probably an overthinker, so yeah,
Yes.
you bet I'm coming with the cue cards and planning it all out. But that's how much attention I give to each episode.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're the biggest star or not. I give the attention to everyone
Yeah.
the same way. So I'm glad you enjoyed the games and everything I thought of, because I was trying to think how it could be different.
Yeah. No, it gives you also a lot of good content for clips. So
Right.
talk about that a little bit. So how much are you focusing on clips and reels versus the full length, or like the audio or any of that stuff? What's your kind of focus? So would you rather people see the clips and all that kind of stuff, or do you feel like people are watching the full reels?
Yeah.
I mean the
so-
full episodes.
Yeah, that it's interesting because I want people to watch the full episodes. I'm learning more and more that the attention span of people is less and less. So that's why I've been trying to keep them at 35 minutes. I felt like anything over an hour, people wouldn't really watch, but I've enjoyed those hour-long episodes. There's so much good stuff there. So I would never count that out. So I do want people to subscribe to the full episodes so they could see them each week. But I noticed very quickly that the clips really help throughout the week. So that's why I'm very steadfast in posting clips Monday through Thursday, and then Friday I have
Yeah.
the full episode. And the YouTube shorts, those do very well.
Yeah.
So and then I've been learning just in this process to keep them, in a certain length so that people actually watch them, and just learning more about clips. More than a minute is just way too long these days. So, yeah.
I bet this has been an interesting learning experience for you.
So much. I've learned so much. I was up, we started this in December, and I thought, with a click, everything just goes
Yeah.
to the podcast world and it's
Yeehaw.
easy breezy.
Yeah.
No, sir. So I was
No.
up late at night, and you helped me so much with my random questions. Thank you so much for your patience. And yeah, I've been up, figuring out how to, once it's on Podbean, that's my platform, how to get it to Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Spotify. There's a method to all of it, and there's a different audience in all of them also.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, every platform has got its own characteristic. So if there's somebody out there listening or watching that is thinking about starting a podcast, what would you tell them? What would your advice be to be as prepared as you are?
Yeah, definitely take that time to learn more about who you want to have on, do the research, be as prepared as you can be, because sometimes when you're in a live interview, conversations can change, and you want to be prepared and know everything you can about their lives and what you want to ask, so that you can, get off the cue cards. That's happened so many times where they were talking and I would just, say, okay, we're skipping this. So yeah, you need to be able to be flexible. So definitely do the research, and definitely just be yourself. And I know I was hard on myself in the beginning and picking myself apart. You're laughing because but
And what did I tell you? I said, wait for somebody to tell you look terrible, and nobody's going to tell you look terrible.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to tell you look great. Everybody's
That's
going to
so
say you look
true.
great. And so,
yeah.
and boy, I had to get over that. I had to get over that in the beginning. I'm not a guy who's ever cared about what I look like, but the minute I get on a podcast, I go, oh God, look at my hair. Or, oh God, look at that shirt. Or, oh God, I'm wearing the same pants that I wore the last time, or whatever it is, and you pick that stuff apart, but people don't notice that stuff,
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I mean, so I pick myself apart all the time when I hear myself on the phone, or if I watch myself, and yeah, definitely get out of your head, because you're noticing it, not anyone else.
Yeah.
And just try and be as authentically you as you can. And that's what I've done this whole time. And I hope that people resonated with conversations, and I hope that people did find it authentic, because it was very scary for me to start a podcast. I was actually private on my social medias right up until that time.
Yeah.
So it was a big deal for me to go public. It was a big deal for me to hit record and go live again. So yeah, I got through a lot of my fears, and
And I bet there's probably people out there that say, well, of course Amanda could do it. She was on TV or whatever.
yeah, right? No.
And there's a lot of, I see that a lot. We run across that in our work where people go, well, of course they can do it. They have whatever, and I think it's so important to understand that it's a hurdle for everybody to get over that, putting yourself out there and taking a chance on yourself, So I think that's a very cool
Thank you.
lesson to learn from it. I will say, Stephanie and I are gonna miss you if you're not around every week. So
I know I'm gonna miss
Stephanie's
being here.
especially gonna miss you. She's been editing all of the episodes. And
She
so.
knows me so well. All
It's
the
like,
things.
oh, it's Monday. I think Amanda's probably going to text me about what's about when are the reels going to be ready. I'm like, I know. We
You
just
know
shot it
me.
Saturday. Give me a minute.
Same old G.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But it's not going to be a long break. I'm calling it just a spring break.
Right.
So I'm going to try and get right back to it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And I'm also launching a merch store.
What?
So my brother has helped me build this, and the merch is so good. It's not your typical merch. The outfits are adorable. It's for men and women. I made it so that it's not just my logo. People could wear it and actually find it fashionable.
Yeah.
So that's going to be launching too. So, and I'm sending all my guests some merch too.
Well, I love adorable merch.
You're
So,
getting the most
I love
adorable
an adorable
one.
outfits. I love it. I love all of that.
Yeah,
so.
you're getting the crop tank.
Oh God, I love a crop tank. Yeah. This next episode I'm on, wearing the crop
You're
tank.
wearing the crop tank.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's gonna be what we do.
What size? Extra small?
Yes, let's go. Let's do it. I'm here for it. So I'll be the fool. I don't care. It's fine.
You're the best, Bill. You are the coolest.
Well, thanks. I appreciate you doing this. I was telling Stephanie I was going to do this yesterday, and she's like, "Is your hair okay?" And I was like, "I don't know. You tell me."
How's my hair?
Your hair's great.
Okay, thank you.
It looks good. So well, next season we'll see you next season.
See you next season. And thank you everyone for tuning in to all these episodes, for taking a chance to even listen to me. I hope you got something out of it. Please send me an email on my website or send me messages on social media. I'd love to know what you want to hear about more. And if there are any changes, please like, subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And thank you for watching. Love, Amanda.